What it do? What it do? You know what to do. Like, subscribe, share, comment to my YouTube channel. Most definitely hit that bell icon. That's a notification bell that alerts you all content that drop to my YouTube channel. Also, I need you to hit the thumbs up, the AKA the like button. YouTube appreciate that. S.L.R Media TV will appreciate that. Also, I need you to go hit the subscribe button. We on the road to 4,000 subscribers on S.L.R Media TV. Let's go. Continue to support the channel. Continue to support the movement. Also, I need y'all to go support my second YouTube channel, S.L.R Sports News TV. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment over there. We on the road to 800 subscribers on S.L.R Sports News TV. Appreciate all the support over there. Continue to support both of my channels. Also, you like the content that I do, make sure you hit the Cash App. All information is pinned at the bottom of the ticker. $ all caps SRED 40. Shout out to my subscribers. Shout out to my future subscribers. You see the title. We in here. The War in Hip Hop series continues. Yeah, the War in Hip Hop Diddy on trial. Oh yeah, exclusive details and information. As y'all already know, the Diddy trial has started Monday. 2 days of the jury, explosive testimony. Um, yeah, the trial is here and it's really about to start to kick off. And is Diddy guilty or innocent? And is this a example of the government trying to paint a bad picture of a rich black man? Because let me tell you this, Puff ain't do nothing wrong except being promiscuous, as they say. Um, Not giving a fuck about the type of lifestyle that he lives because he's rich and famous. You can't lock somebody up for being sexual or having a swinger type of lifestyle. Because if you acting like that, you gotta lock everybody up who fucking watch porn and who watch OnlyFans. They only running on the testimony of Cassie and the video of him putting his hands on her. None other than that, they really don't have nothing on Diddy. Period. Honestly, they really don't. Because if they really had something on them that's gonna stick, Diddy would have took a plea deal. He wouldn't even went to trial. Trust me, he wouldn't even went to trial. So the government is trying to persuade the jurors of this guy's sexual misconduct and criminal activity put together. That shit doesn't work. He's not fucking R. Kelly. Doesn't work. You can't persecute a man because of his sexual lifestyle. You can't do that. It's a lot of rich people that do the same fucking thing that he does. It just that people just don't put lawsuits behind it. Now, don't get me wrong. Diddy's a dummy. He's a fool. You too fucking rich to be stuck in this situation. And even if you did have this type of lifestyle, you didn't dot your I's or cross your T's. So now you're in situations where civil lawsuits has now turned into criminal cases, and that's basically what it is. The feds don't have anything. They just hoping that one of them jurors, a couple of them jurors, will look at Puff and see that video of him beating Cassie, and that's good enough to get him racketeering charges now. Racketeering charges for what? Taking Cassie back and forth? That was his girl. She did everything what she was asked to do. She did not like what Diddy was doing. She had every right to get out the situation. Nobody want to hear about I was scared. I was trying to do what he did. You're trying to paint a picture of this man as you had no way out. He had so much power, so much money. you had no way out. He did let you go, right? Y'all did move on, right? You are married. You are producing children, not by somebody else though. So, and you was with him for 10 years. Nobody wants to hear this bullshit, Cassie. Nobody wants to hear this. Nobody wants to hear this bullshit, Cassie. None. You can say whatever you want. Guys pissed in your mouth. Did all that. You had every opportunity to bite the motherfucking man dick and run. You had every fucking opportunity to get yourself out this situation, Cassie. Nobody wants to hear that. Don't you have parents? Don't you got family? Huh? You had like Diddy gave you no contact. You couldn't contact no motherfucker, but you stripped of all your fucking rights. That's how you acting, Cassie. And we know that you wasn't. Now, if you want to put Diddy on trial for being stupid, you can put him on trial for being stupid. But putting him on trial for criminal activities and racketeering, come on. Come on. Y'all know that's not Diddy's fucking makeup. He's not a fucking criminal. Y'all need to stop with the bullshit. But we're going to get into the content. And we're going to break this shit down accordingly as we do. And you know what we do. Diddy on trial. And trust me. And this is the real life pic of Diddy. Right now. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment to my YouTube channel. Smash that like button, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you donate to the Cash App. All proceeds go directly to the channel. And let's get into the content. The War in Hip Hop series. Diddy on trial. Let's go.
Testimony back underway in Sean Diddy Combs' federal sex trafficking trial. For more on that right now, let's go live together to New York City, where we find Court TV legal correspondent Kelly Craft there covering the case for us. She was inside the courtroom for big day on Monday when things opened up. She's back there today. Kelly, good morning to you. What kind of a day can we expect today in that courtroom, please?
Well, good morning to you, Julie. The Karen Reed case may not be happening, but it certainly is happening here in New York City for the continuation of the Sean Diddy Combs trial. The criminal trial, the government has brought the charges against Sean Diddy Combs, the hip-hop mogul, outside the courthouse here. Crazy as usual, just like yesterday. Julie, what took place this morning? So court proceedings got underway at 9:30 a.m. There were some arguments outside the presence of the jury. One of those, a win for the defense, because the defense is now able to bring in some text messages between Cassie Ventura, who is the government's star witness, some text between her and Sean Diddy Combs, in which she is telling Combs about a bar fight that she got into while she was in Connecticut visiting her family. So Combs was not present, but what the state was arguing is that these texts would be more prejudicial to the victim in this case, saying that, they put forth this theory and talked about how Cassie Ventura had a sense of peacefulness about her. Defense is saying, wait, not so fast. These texts are showing us a different side of Cassie Ventura, showing that she may not be as peaceful as the government wants to portray. So a win there for the defense because they get to bring in these text messages now. The second thing that was discussed this morning, will the media be able to see video of these freak-offs? During opening statements, we heard that the jurors are going to be able to see video of these freak-offs. These are these sexual encounters between, for instance, Cassie Ventura, as well as another woman, Jane, and male escorts, as well as Sean Diddy Combs. But there's an argument that only the jurors will be able to see these. So we'll have to see what happens. The judge is taking that under advisement. Right now, what's taking place is the continuation of the cross-examination of a man by the name of Daniel Phillip. Julie, he is the male stripper stripper that was hired by, he said, Cassie to engage in sexual acts. So big news today here. We're also expecting Cassie Ventura to take the stand later on today, which of course is going to be very interesting testimony to listen to.
Oh, without a doubt, Kelly. As you know, she's key to this case. She really is, and her testimony could make or break things for the government and for Diddy. Tell me, just backing up for just a beat, you mentioned the witness on the stand currently, Daniel Phillip, the male escort. Starting things off yesterday, some really shocking pieces of information, as you know, came in, Kelly, about where he's detailing being asked to urinate on Cassie while Sean Combs was allegedly watching and masturbating. I'm curious if you noticed any reaction from the members of the jury when they were hearing a lot of that.
So inside the courtroom there, everyone is being told they cannot have any outbursts or anything like that or any real reaction. So inside that courtroom, no. There also, Julie, is media overflow rooms. And inside those media overflow rooms, a lot of reaction. So the public is in there as well. The public is making a lot of reactions. You hear a lot of commentary when these details are coming out. Outbursts, the security is coming over and talking to a lot of the people, telling them that they have to keep it down. But other people inside the actual courtroom for the case where that's happening, no real reaction at all. But this testimony, as you mentioned, Julie, has been graphic in nature as he talked about, for instance, being asked to urinate onto Cassie, and he said she asked him to do that. He talked about Sean Diddy Combs being in the corner, masturbating at times as they were engaging in their sex acts. He talked about how their encounter took place, how he's a male stripper. He anticipated going there and just doing a striptease. But then eventually he said that Cassie offered him thousands of dollars, and then they eventually ended up engaging in sex acts. She also asked him if he was comfortable rubbing baby oil on him, and he was fine with it. And he said, so that's what they did. They rubbed baby oil on one another and then engaged in their acts while Sean Combs watched. So, pretty graphic details, to say the least, Julie.
Oh, most definitely, Kelly.
That's what y'all use. That's what y'all use, WebEx.
Forewarned that it would be graphic. You wonder if they had any idea it would be this graphic. I know we have to let you get inside of the courthouse. Kelly Craft, thank you so much for that update. We'll look forward to hearing more reporting from you throughout the day. While that witness is still on the stand, let's talk a little bit about what he's sharing with the jury. So this is a male escort on the stand right now. And he said yesterday that he witnessed Combs beating Cassie. Let's talk about it. Let's bring in domestic violence expert Claudia King and retired deputy inspector with the NYPD, Corey Pegues. Okay, Claudia, how key do you think this witness is in proving these charges? They're looking to prove sex trafficking, transportation to engage in prostitution, and racketeering, that he used the Combs enterprise to engage in criminal behavior.
I think he's a great witness, and I think he was a good starter or near the beginning for the jury to hear from, because he can talk about so many different instances and situations that are relatable to other things that occur on video, so it makes him appear more credible. I think it was a great place to start, and I think he's doing very well so far.
Yes, I'm with you, Claudia. Corey, I want to ask you about those New York juries. You've got a lot of experience with them, having filed so many cases yourself, made so many callers throughout your career. How are the jurors there typically? Would they be hardened to stuff like this? Do you think it's all that shocking to them? I mean, Diddy's a New Yorker too, a big celeb up there. Your thoughts?
Yeah, listen, this is the naked city. We've seen everything.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Just go to Times Square today, huh, my friend?
Yeah. Yesterday we had a 14-year-old boy shoot a 16-year-old girl. So, so we're used to seeing very heinous crimes in New York City, and I'm pretty sure that these jurors are locked in. They're listening to all information. Just like Claudia said, this was explosive from that first witness. But we do know, all of us do know, that the closing, like, this is very early. This is explosive, and it's going to be a long trial. But remember, like, the juries really remember, the last few things that they hear at the end. So we'll see. There might be more explosive things than what we heard yesterday.
You're right, my friend. A+ trial advocacy student, Corey Pegues, right there. You know, primacy and recency. You hit on it. That's what I teach when I teach this stuff. You're absolutely right. Jurors remember what they hear first, what they hear last. You both know that from being seated there with lawyers when you try cases. You always want to emphasize certain things. And yesterday, it really seemed like both sides embraced the domestic violence aspect that is no doubt present here. Claudia, anxious to ask you about this. So from the prosecution side, they're painting Diddy out to be using violence in order to control various people. The defense side embraced it as, yeah, he's an imperfect guy. Yes, he did assault Cassie, and that was very wrong, but he's not on trial for assault here. It's something totally different, and the government can't prove it. What did you think about that?
I thought it was an interesting tactic for them to use, and I do understand it because they're saying, yes, he did this. We all know he did it. We saw it with our own eyes, but that's all he did. So, there's nothing else to see here. And I just don't know if that's going to work for them. We obviously do have a long way to go with the trial, but seeing that and then hearing this first witness or second witness talk about some similar incidents leads credibility. And so then when we see other things that have happened that he speaks about, it's going to make it seem more possible that these things really did occur.
Right. Excellent points, Claudia. Corey, let me go back to you for one other question. I just started thinking about this. Do New Yorkers feel any sense of attachment to Diddy because he's, one of their own, born and raised, and really, we know, just reached a tremendous amount of success, coming from humble beginnings, and nothing was really handed to him. He worked for everything he's got. I'm just curious, is there any pride for him being a hometown guy?
Oh, absolutely. He is the ultimate rags to riches story out of New York City. I mean, the guy had a school in Harlem. He had an entire school in Harlem. He's done so many philanthropic things in New York City. The guy spends a lot of money in New York City. He's always out and about doing everything, campaigning. So there's a lot of people. But remember, there's over 8 million people in New York City. There's actually a cloth of New York City that don't know Daddy Diddy. It's not like it's in Boise, Idaho, where there's not that many people. So, I'm pretty sure they was able to find a few jurors that probably don't care about hip hop and Puff Daddy, Diddy, Father, new name is. So, but the ones that's loyal, they're New York to the bone. And let's go Knicks.
Let's go next. Yeah. And if you're the government, you want some Tupac fans on the jury. Yeah, West Coast, right? Corey Pegues, great insight you're lending us. Thank you for that.
Warning, some viewers may find the following footage deeply disturbing. Warning, some viewers may find the following footage deeply disturbing. Warning, some viewers may find the following footage deeply disturbing. Warning, some viewers may find the following footage.
Just saying. Had to play, it might be deeply disturbing. So I'm giving y'all the warning now. The war in hip hop. Diddy on trial. Will Diddy beat the case? Will Diddy beat the case? What did he do to Diddy Bop? Will he be like, take that. Bad boy. It won't stop. Bad boy. Let's work. Let's go. Let's work. Hey, let's go. Hey. I'm just saying. Just give me the bread, man. Just let me get the billions. You ain't got to worry about me being in none of this bullshit with Diddy. See, listen, man. Listen, Diddy. Listen, man. Listen. See, if people know you, they already knew how you was. They knew this was you. A lot of people knew this was you. See, that's why a lot of people in the music industry is not really coming out saying anything really negative about Diddy and the Cassie situation. Because you know why? They already knew this. And a lot of people participated in the Diddy parties because it was cool, it was fun, it was the hottest thing out. It was the it party. And if you want that bop, you want that action, you know what's up. You want to go where the baddies at that's going to get down? Yeah, baby oil, baby oil. You know what I'm saying? It's raining in Houston, my love. Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm just like they try to treat like the fans try to treat this shit like R. Kelly. You understand what I'm saying? Just imagine they got the biggest R&B star in history locked up. Probably ain't never getting out. You get the biggest hip hop mogul, the guy who ran the late 90s in the early 2000s. Diddy, Sean Combs, Mr. Take That, Mr. Baby Oil. It's raining in Houston, my love. The feds are now got a grip hold on hip hop. If they can get Puff, Diddy, and lock him up, do you know the ramifications, the earth shattering that's going to penetrate through the hip hop circles? Now, not only that, you're telling me that I can't fly my women out to me? That's what you're saying? Or you're saying if I paid for the flight ticket for her to come to me, that's trafficking? But if I'm not rich, that's not trafficking, right? But if I'm rich, got billions in the bank, that's trafficking, right? It's it's, it's mighty strange that the stuff that's coming out in the Diddy trial is normal. It's no shock. There's no shock at all. Why? Listen. Why are you shocked about Cassie getting a golden shower? Maybe she liked that shit. You understand what I'm saying? She's a freak. She's a freak. Leak. 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 She's a freak. Do you know how hard it was for Puff to let that go? Listen, that's why he went with Young Miami and got Young Miami, because Young Miami is the closest thing to replicate Cassie, of what Cassie will do. So if Diddy was doing this to Cassie, I know for I, yeah, Yo Miami was catching it too. No, she wasn't catching no beat down. She wasn't catching that the hotel beat down. Nah, she was catching the other beat down the other way. Bend over, spread them cheeks. Yeah, Pound Town. Yeah, that. It's raining in Houston, my love. Yeah. So where's the criminal activities you trying to do with the because he had drugs and alcohol? They wanted to do that. Anybody that's around him wanted to do that. It's the lifestyle. You hanging around a billionaire that has the world in his hands, can get anything he want at the snap of his finger. He can change your life. But soon as the popos, the law enforcement, is now in the situation. Now the people that was there, that was partying with Puff, doing the drugs, drinking, fucking, and doing all this and that. Now all of a sudden, now they was forced in to do it. You was forced to party with him. Who in the fuck goes to a party and is forced? Man, I gotta go to this fucking party, man. I gotta go to this party. What party you talking about? Man, Diddy. He having like an all white party or some shit like that. Bro, what the fuck is you talking about? Why are you acting like that's a bad thing? You forcing somebody. That's a bad. Bro, I don't want to go there, man, because it's too many baddies. It's too much drugs there. Um, um, he may put a bad one on me and say, bro, go ahead and get that. It's your night. I don't want to do that. What the fuck, man? Listen, man. Motherfuckers don't want to go to jail. See that it's jail and scare tactics they use. All the people that was with him that flipped or whatever is all scared of jail tactics. He know that. His lawyers don't know that. Ain't nothing really solid. Only thing you try to use is the Cassie shit. That's really it. And honestly, by her going on that stand, telling her side, it does not make her look like the victim. It makes her look worse. It makes her look like the freak that she is on the low that she tried to portray. She wanted to get on her knees and open up and get the super soaker squeezed on her. She wanted the golden shower. Stop acting like she was forced. She liked shit like that. Because listen, Diddy was doing it too. Huh? Diddy was doing it too. So what? So what? He was in the corner jacking off, filming, and watching his girl get beat down by another man. They all fucking do it. It's just not magnified like Diddy. Everybody got some freak in them. I don't know how much freak he got, but I mean, I ain't sitting in no motherfucking corner, goddamn be popping. But that's what Diddy like. He like to sit in the corner and bebop. Bebop is jacking off and unloading. Why his girl get beat down by a bazooka, and she likes it. Listen to this. Check this out. If Diddy would have gave her, see, this where Diddy fucked up at. This where he fucked up at. And see, if he do get some time, it's only because of his stupidity. Because in the midst of you doing all that Diddy, all you had to do was just go ahead and let her do an album, That's all you had to do, Diddy. Let her do a mixtape or something. Let her do 2 or 3 songs and milk them 2 or 3 songs for a whole year. Do them as singles. Then it's the prelude to your album. Let her go on a little festival. Let her go on a little 10-city tour. You didn't want to do it. You wanted her to be your personal whore. Your survival bunny. Your sex kitty. You should have just put her on the table, strapped her down. You should have put you should have put Diddy production behind it. Make you some fucking money. You went around, you went. I'm not knocking your lifestyle because I'm gonna tell you right now, 99% of people would will love your lifestyle, will take your lifestyle. If it comes with that bank account, it comes with them billions, they'll take it. They'll take it. You just didn't know how to milk it. You just dumb. Listen, all she wanted to do was be a musician. She wanted to put an album out. And she kept asking you when I'm going to do music. See, these are the things that they're going to use on you, Diddy. They could be like, see, she kept asking Mr. Combs when I'm going to do music. When can I release my album? Mm, mm, mm. And they would say, you got all the connections to put the album out. But no, you want her to be your own sex slave. They're going to paint you as a sexual predator. They're going to paint you as you and her was going to LA, New York, Miami, and you was booking male escorts to bang her out. And see, Diddy, she was cool with it. All you had to do was drop the album. That's all you had to do. That's all you had to do. And see what really pissed her off, what really brought rage to her when you dropped that Love album. Yeah, when you dropped that Love album. Mhm. Oh yeah, yeah. See, so at the end of the day, Diddy, bro, I'm just saying, if they lock you up, it's only because of stupidity. It's only because of stupidity. I'm not worried about the golden showers, her all that fucking you owe that jacket all to her while she. I don't care about that. If that's what the fuck you want to do, you fucking do it. More power to you. But all you had to do was drop that album. That's all she wanted, Diddy. That's all she wanted, bro. That's all she wanted. And I guarantee you, Diddy, you'd have had so much money saved right now, you wouldn't even be going through this. You're dumb. You're dumb. You're dumb. This is the channel you want to tune into. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, share, comment button on the YouTube. And make sure you go to my second YouTube channel, S.L.R Sports News TV. We in the building. War in hip hop. Diddy on trial. Yeah. Exclusive details and information. Yeah, we talking about it. We breaking it down. Will Diddy be able to escape? Is there escape route? Is there a tunnel? Is there a light at the end of the tunnel for Diddy to be able to walk through? Yeah, is it? Or will the United States government reign supreme? Because listen, this is a attack on hip hop. This is attack on hip hop. I'm telling you now, you don't want to see Diddy go away. This Diddy is so listen, when I say the mid 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, Diddy, he was the man. Diddy. I'm telling you now, if he goes to jail, it's a big blow to hip hop. It's a huge blow to hip hop, and it's gonna be a sad one. You might just go ahead and get your black suits, your black dress, funeral up, because this was exactly where it's gonna be. It's gonna be a funeral. If Diddy goes to prison, and I was hearing that they offered him 8 to 10, and you know the feds, you're gonna do it all. Man, maybe maybe it was 20 somewhere, but I heard it was like 8 to 10 around in there, and he didn't do it. And see, Diddy is smart. Don't do it. Because listen to this, bro. The feds can't charge you with nothing but a fucking what criminal racketeering, some drugs. Get that shit is fucking weak as fuck. They really have a state case. They picked up a fucking state case, a civil state case, and expedited it to a federal case. And it's fucking weak. As I say again, if Diddy get locked up, he get locked up because he's stupid. He's dumb as fuck. It's not because of his lifestyle. I don't give a fuck. Listen, you're not gonna sit here and tell me that that she got on her fucking knees and said, no, no, Sean, no, Sean. I don't want him to piss in my mouth. I don't want him to piss on me. Get the fuck out of here. Come on now. Now. Because look at this. The guy that fucking pissed on her, don't you think he would have tucked that shit to a criminal case or something like that? Allegedly that him and Cassie was fucking when Diddy wasn't around. When Diddy was going on tours and all this other shit, whatever the fuck going on, the dude was fucking her and caught feelings. So you're not gonna sit here and tell me that she didn't like it. See, the industry know Cassie was a freak. See, listen, all this sexual endo shit, all this shit that she was saying, uh, he watched, he jacked off in the corner, and he watched and filmed and all this and that. So what? So what? They do it in porn. So what? As humans are sexuals. So what he sat in a corner and watched another man fuck his girl. If that's his lifestyle, that's what the fuck he like to do. That's on him. You can't lock him up for some shit like that. Oh, he had a whole bunch of baby oil. Oh, we went up in there, how we found a whole bunch of baby oil. So what? He just wanted easy access. You gonna fall him for one baby oil? He might not want it tight. He may just want to slide up in that motherfucker. Ping pong. You're not gonna sit here trying to paint a picture of Cassie as a as a as a as a as a whore that didn't have no authority over nothing. Like she was just getting passed around like a blunt. She liked that shit. She liked to get pissed on. She liked to get her ass beat. What you seen at the hotel was nothing new. It's been happening. What you surprised about just because you seen it on camera? It's nothing new. Domestic violence goes around all the time in household, even rich people. And when she got her motherfucking ass whooped, she still stayed. She didn't go nowhere. She still stayed. You ain't gonna sit here and tell me she was a victim. She ain't no fucking victim. She was right along with the play. She was right along with the play. She was playing it too. Put me in the game, coach. She liked all that shit. You over here fucking these dudes, catching feelings for them. Now you fucking one of the male escorts on the low. Then you got caught by Puff. That's the reason why that's the reason why the male escort dude got threatened by Puff. You know, talking about the male escort gonna say some shit. I couldn't get hard. My dick couldn't get hard because because Puff was in the corner just jacking off, making all types of noise. Hey, get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. How many times Puff was doing that while you was fucking Cassie? Hmm? Hmm? And you still took the money. He was paying you good. You still took the bread. So what? So what? You was probably fucking Cassie what for about $1,000, $2,000. Nigga wasn't paying you no 5,000 the banger. So I mean, so what? Go fuck her, get your money, and go. It wasn't like Puff asking you to fuck him. So how the fuck you over here acting like a victim? Oh, I was forced to fuck her. No, the fuck you what? You said you caught feelings for her. Allegedly, both of y'all was fucking each other when Puff wasn't even around. She was coming talking to you, telling her business to you about Puff beating her ass. But see, all this is domestic. This is on the state. This is not a federal level. The only federal shit they only got Puff on is racketeering, him and Cassie going from one state to the other state, and drugs. And and a couple of people who I guess were gonna testify, whatever, that was coerced and scared to thinking they were gonna do fucking 5 or 10, 15, 20 years when they actually wasn't gonna do a fucking thing. See, Puff is dumb. All Puff had to do, see, listen, Puff, she'd have been, listen, she would have took more. Actually, you probably could have shitted on her. You probably could have got that dude to shit on her if all you had to do was give her album. That's all she wanted. She said, Sean, when can I do my album? You promised me. I just want to be a star. You can make that happen. He could have did that. He could have milked it. All you had to do was give her a fucking album. Even if the album was going to be trash or whatever, give her a fucking album. Let her do an album. Give her a 10-city tour. And listen, she'd have been coming right back on her knees, and you could be pissing all over her, shitting all over, and she would have loved it. She would have loved it. Then you could have introduced her to fans only. Then she would have been a mega star. A mega star. Mega. Mega star. See, Puff. See, that's all I don't understand. Rich people, especially black people who get money and then try to do try to do white collar escapade shit. You can't even do that shit. You get to see what they do. They pay. And they pay. You understand what I'm saying? They pay first. You didn't. She just wanted an album. Get the bitch an album. That's all she wanted. Who cares? It would have flopped. What? It does not matter. You could have. When she got back off tour, she could have been your sex slave all over again. No problem. No problem. She had no problem knocking these escorts down for you. As long as you would have gave her that album she wanted in her little 10-city tour. That's it, Puff. Learn. S.L.R is telling you something. Now you sitting in court looking like this. Now you sitting in court, hold on, looking like this now. Well, all you had to do was drop that fucking album, my G. Now look. Puff out here looking crazy. That's that. And that's what he looking like. That's what he looking like. Ain't none of that. Take that. Bad boy. We won't stop. Hey, go Diddy. Go Diddy. Go Diddy. Nah, nah. Missing that good smoke too. Missing that good Buddha lover. I tell you, missing that good smoke, Diddy. I know. I know that good Cali bud, because you know it ain't no good smoke in New York. Sorry, New York. Sorry. You one of my favorite cities. You're dirty as fuck. It's a dirty city, but you're one of my favorite cities. There's no good smoke in New York. You got good now the bags, yeah. But it's no good smoke. No. Shout out to DC. Yeah, 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 yeah. You want to go get you some good smoke? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go to DC, like my third city. Yeah, get it all day. New York, you hurt my feelings, New York. I'm just saying though, when I come back up there, when I come back, you got to get your face right. Gotta get your face. Maybe I need to hit Gilly up. Maybe I need to hit Gilly up. Maybe Gilly got to connect. Gilly said ain't no good smoke in New York either. I'm just saying. Yeah. So should have just gave it an album. No, she can't sing. Like you was so enamored with her fucking taking Louisville sluggers inside of her. That's all. That's it, Puff. You a rich motherfucker. Go get you a Louisville slugger. Go get you one. Why you want to be the man in the corner jacking off to your little beef stick? Go get you a Louisville slugger. She probably wouldn't. She probably wouldn't even took the lawsuit out on you. You were too busy worried about goddamn being a coke, being a weirdo. Like, come on, bruh. But now look at you. Look at this. It's crazy. Well, I'm telling you, if they lock Diddy up, it's a funeral for hip hop. Go get your suits, and there is a funeral. Listen, it's a funeral. Diddy, Puff, Sean Combs. It's a rap. You don't want this. You don't. He's like a museum. He's like an architect. He's like a national treasure in hip hop. You don't want to see him fucking locked up. You don't. They took Bill Cosby. locked him up. They took R. Kelly and locked him up. You don't want them to take down Diddy because that's how they're gonna do it. They're like, well, we got Bill, we got R. Kelly, and we got Sean Carter, aka Diddy. Man, you don't want that. You don't want that. I told you it's a war in hip hop. Government wants to shut hip hop down. But fuck that. We own this Diddy shit. This this Diddy shit is the hottest thing out right now. 'Cause the news on the hip hop side has been kind of quiet, but it is awoken, and this is the channel where y'all want to tap into for all the Diddy, yeah, all the Diddy content. We in here, we in the motherfucking building. Let's get into some more.
Down the early day one information that we got out of the Sean Diddy Combs trial. There are 12 members of the jury. There'll be 6 alternates. The jury currently consists of 8 men, 4 women. And then here's the thing. They're not sequestered. I think that's going to be a problem to me because you're going to be allowed to go home every night with strict instructions to avoid news coverage in the trial. But you live in New York City. You're going to see whether you log into your phone or TV, but that's on them. These comments are reported to be the opening statement of the assistant U.S. attorney that is prosecuting Mr. Sean Combs. We're going to abbreviate when appropriate, but we just want to give you the absolute allegations that are bombshell allegations that you all want to hear that will come out over trial. The attorney starts, "This is Sean Combs. To the public, he was a cultural icon, a businessman that was larger than life, but you will hear about 20 years of the defendant's crimes. He had a team to help him: kidnapping, arson, drugs, sex crimes. Let's start with one night. He was on the hunt for his girlfriend, Cassie. He forced her to have sex with male escorts while he watched and recorded it. Damn. He found out Cassie was seeing another man. Furious, he set out to find Cassie and another man. He woke an employee to drive to the house, but no one was there. The defendant didn't give up. He kept looking for Cassie. When he found her, he beat her brutally, kicking her in her back and flinging her around like a rag doll. But it wasn't enough. He told Cassie he could release video of her having sex with the male escorts. He broke into the man's house and he beat and blackmailed his girlfriend. These are not his only crimes. Cassie is not the only woman he beat and sexually exploited. 20 years of crimes. He had a business, Bad Boy Records, that made him right. He relied on bodyguards, chiefs of staff who ran all aspects of his life. The group promoted his power. His bodyguards kidnapped an employee and set a car on fire, dangled a person over the edge. They delivered drugs whenever he wanted, including to women he forced to have sex with escorts. He transported them across state lines and even out of the country. Let me be very clear. This case is not about a celebrity's private sexual preferences. This was criminal. He coerced and even used violence. Along with this trial, will focus on 2 women, Cassie and Jane. We believe that is a Jane Doe. We will show that the defendant used lies, drugs, threats, and violence to force them to have sex with him in front of male escorts. Taking a brief break, they will hear from Cassie, and from what the assistant attorney says, you will hear from the unnamed witness as Jane. Back to the statement. He called them freak-offs, wild king nights, or hotel nights. His staff organized flights, cars, and hotels at his direction. His staff set up the room with lubricant and lighting. The staff came in with cash to pay the escorts and drugs. He made them take what he's calling MDMA or Molly and ecstasy. It made them sick, but also aroused. He directed every step. He expected the women to appear to enjoy themselves. He enjoyed himself and recorded events. Cassie apparently was 19 with a hit song. She tried to work on her music, but the defendant made her turn down many different opportunities. She recorded, but he had the final say over the music she released. There was never another album. He sat Cassie. He also hit Cassie in the head and dragged her by her hair. He stomped on Cassie's face in an SUV. By the way, some of these statements seem disjointed. This is a a reporter who was there on the court, and he is trying to make his best shorthand. Back to the statements. Then made her stay in a hotel for a week to hide her injuries. He said a freak offs as often as once a week. She spent half of her time. And the defendant made an escort urinate in her mouth. As you'll see in this trial, he beat her in the hallway of a hotel and dragged her back into the freak off. Initially, she wanted to make him happy, but then she didn't want to. But the defendant made her. The consequences were severe. He beat her when he thought she took too long in the bathroom. When he said to have a freak off, she knew she had no choice. She called the escort and put on the performances he wanted. Her safety depended on keeping him happy. Her safety depended on keeping him happy. The relationship was complicated. Both were unfaithful, but only one of them had power. He made Cassie do his bidding in those dark hotel rooms. Cassie's not the only one. This was a pattern. Let me tell you about Jane. She was a single mom that started spending time with him in 2020. She fell in love with him. He was seeing other women. One night, he told Jane about freak offs and made it happen immediately. He took her to a hotel when the escort was on the way. He directed her step by step. Jane thought it was a one-time wild night. She was wrong. He continued offering a real relationship. Jane wanted the escorts to wear condoms, but the defendant did not let them. Jane tried to make it through these nights without the drugs. The first time she broke down and took ecstasy to finish. Another time she vomited, but he said, go do it again. Jane found two men and invited them to join so she could choose the man she'd be intimate with. The defendant discouraged her from working. He had the power to coerce her back into hotel rooms. He threatened her with videos from those freak offs, from what is reported to be. Not even a year ago, he went to her house. She was angry. She hit him. He became enraged. She tried to hide. She locked herself in the bedroom. He kicked it open. In the bathroom, the closet, the guest bedroom, he kicked her to the ground. He did not let Jane be. He said, you're not going to F up my night. He said, call up an escort to perform. Jane followed his instructions. His violence got him what he wanted. Cassie will tell you about the time the defendant forced himself on her. Mia, an employee of Diddy, will tell you how defendant forced himself on her, hands always on her, penetrating her, and amidst all this violence, he and his inner circle worked to cover up his crimes. The video at the LA hotel, you will hear how far this went. The defendant offered a hotel security guard a wad of cash, a brown paper bag, allegedly with $100,000 in it with $100 bills. The inner circle kept Cassie in hiding for days. For all of this, he's charged with multiple federal crimes, racketeering, conspiracy. Cassie and Jane will tell you of the most painful experiences of their lives. You will hear from some of the defendant employees, including his personal assistant, Mia, who was assaulted. She's grappling with a lot, apparently. You will hear the employee he forced into an SUV with a firearm, and from a chef. They worked punishing hours, at times without sleep. They bought drugs for him. They were expected to keep quiet. Some of these witnesses already received settlements. You will also hear from some of the escorts that the defendant directed and filmed them. An escort saw the defendant assault Cassie and drag her by the face during the freak off. You'll see records from hotels and damage and car services. You'll see text messages in which the defendant tells staff to bring cash for escorts, and by Jane saying she did not want to do the freak offs. You will see videos in them. You can hear the defendant provide direction to Cassie and Jane high on ecstasy. You will see a video of the defendant brutally beating Cassie during a freak off in a LA hotel. You will see photos of damage, including to 4 doors in Jane's home not even a year ago. You will see what he had in his home. You will see the agreement with the hotel guard barring him from speaking after he paid the $100,000 for the video. You will hear him manipulate Jane into saying she wanted it. His threats not to pay her home, text to his staff about it. I ask you to do these 3 things. Pay attention to the evidence. Follow the judge's instructions on the law. Use your common sense. And you will reach the verdict that Sean Combs is guilty. That is the opening statement from the Attorney, United States, the Assistant U.S. Attorney. We will keep you locked on the opening statements from
I could book that for like the weekend of the 14th when the soundtrack comes out. If so, bump somebody. All right, thanks. All right, love you, man. Bye. I got my MTV out. Savage! I'm a savage! Oh! I'm a savage! Whatever I want, I'm going to get! Whatever I want, I have to get!
Born on November 4th, 1969 in Harlem, New York, Sean Combs faced adversity early on with the murder of his father, Melvin Combs, when Sean was just 2 years old. Raised by his mother, Janice, a model and teacher's assistant, Combs attended Howard University, where he showcased his entrepreneurial spirit by organizing campus events. His internship at Uptown Records paved the way for the creation of Bad Boy Records in 1993, a label that would redefine hip-hop and R&B. Under Combs' leadership, Bad Boy Records introduced the world to artists like the Notorious B.I.G., Faith Evans, and 112. His foray into fashion with the Sean John brand earned him the CFDA Menswear Designer of the Year award in 2004. Not stopping there, Combs ventured into the beverage industry with Ciroc Vodka and later founded Revolt TV, aiming to create a platform for music and culture. Beyond the boardroom and stage, Combs is a father to 6 children, sharing his life with partners like the late Kim Porter and singer Cassie Ventura. His personal life, often under the media's microscope, painted a picture of a man balancing the demands of fame with fatherhood. In November 2023, the facade began to crack. Cassie Ventura, Combs' former partner, filed a lawsuit accusing him of rape, sex trafficking, and years of physical abuse. The lawsuit detailed horrible experiences, including claims that Combs blew up her then-boyfriend Kid Cudi's car. Although the lawsuit was settled swiftly, it ignited a firestorm of scrutiny and opened the floodgates for further allegations. Following Ventura's revelations, a storm of accusations emerged. By April 2025, Combs faced over 60 civil lawsuits spanning alleged incidents from the 1990s to as recent as 2022. The plaintiffs, both named and anonymous, recounted experiences of sexual assault, harassment, and intimidation. Notably, producer Rodney Jones accused Combs of sexual assault during their professional relationship, and actor Terrence Howard alleged unwanted advances under the guise of seeking acting lessons.
For weeks asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. And he's sitting there just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to fuck you.
In March 2024, Homeland Security agents raided Combs' properties in Los Angeles, New York, and Miami, uncovering narcotics, illegally modified firearms, and other incriminating evidence. By September 2024, Combs was arrested and indicted on charges including sex trafficking, racketeering, and transportation for prostitution. Prosecutors painted a grim picture of a criminal enterprise spanning over a decade, alleging coercion, forced labor, and obstruction of justice. Despite pleading not guilty, Combs was denied bail and remains incarcerated at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. The ripple effects were immediate and profound. Brands distanced themselves, honorary accolades were rescinded, and media outlets refused to play his music. Documentaries like Diddy, The Making of a Bad Boy on Peacock, and The Fall of Diddy by Investigation Discovery delved into the controversies, offering insights into the man behind the mogul. As of April 2025, Sean Combs remains in federal custody, with his trial slated to commence on May 5, 2025. His legal team continues to assert his innocence, emphasizing that all relationships were consensual. The world watches closely as the proceedings promise to shed light on the complexities of power, fame, and accountability. Sean Diddy Combs' journey reflects the zeniths and the nadirs of celebrity, From chart-topping hits to court indictments, his story serves as a testament to the intricate interplay between personal choices and public personas.
Whatever I want to have to get.
More bombshell testimony today in the sex crimes trial of Sean Diddy Combs. The prosecution's star witness, ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura, seen in that disturbing hotel security video where Combs was physically attacking her. Ventura with graphic testimony about alleged drug-fueled parties known as freak-offs and sexual encounters with the hip-hop mogul. Let's get out to News Nation's Caitlin Becker outside the federal courthouse there in New York City. And Caitlin, what is happening on this now day 2 of this trial?
Well, Nicole, right now things are getting pretty emotional for Cassie Ventura on the stand as she recalls for the jury participating in these sometimes days-long freak-offs, sexual escapades organized by Sean Combs that she said made her feel dirty and worthless. She felt like she didn't have anything else to offer when she was being forced, she said, to participate in them, telling the jury that they would be at some point happening almost weekly and completely overtaking her career as an artist for Bad Boy Records. Of course, the record label owned and operated by Sean Diddy Combs, who was also her boyfriend at the time. So you can see how the government here is laying out the control that they claim Diddy had over Cassie's entire life, over her personal life, her career, down to controlling what she wore, what she looked like. She said if she was being quote unquote punished, his security detail would take away her devices. They would take away access to her iPad and her phone and her computer and would give them back to her only when she said she was done being punished. She was choking back tears at one point on the stand. And also, Nicole, we're hearing her describe her interactions with people who worked for Diddy, who worked for Sean Combs during this process. Now, to lay out his work relationships and this quote-unquote enterprise that they need to establish, this all goes to that racketeering charge. The government needs to prove that he did the things that they're accusing him of, the alleged sex trafficking, the alleged forced prostitution, things like that, all while they say operating like a criminal enterprise, like a criminal business. So you see them kind of laying that out right now, but it's all during this very emotional testimony from Cassie Ventura, who is 9 months pregnant on the stand. She has, needs to take a break here and there. They're only going to question her for 90-minute chunks, so she has time to do that. This is the first time she and Diddy have seen each other since they broke up some 6 years ago. He did clock her, and look right at her when she walked by him in the courtroom as she was taking the witness stand. Initially, she did not turn and look at him. And during her testimony, he's been diligently taking notes of a lot of different things she said, particularly when she talks about their sexual escapades, as well as certain aspects of the violence that she says she incurred at his hands. Now, remember, we're only getting direct examination now. And Nicole, we expect this testimony to take the entire week. So his defense team has not yet had an opportunity to kind of pepper her with their questions, to impeach her on some of the things that she's been saying here to defend their client. So we're really only getting the prosecution's case at this point, Nicole.
All right, Caitlin Becker with that update there in Manhattan. Caitlin.
For decades, he was a music industry titan.
He's so handsome.
Known for hits like Been Around the World and launching careers like those of Mary J. Blige and Biggie Smalls and making hip-hop mainstream.
Diddy finally has the key to the city!
With his own record label, reality TV franchises, fashion brand, vodka, tequila, and a cable television channel, Sean Diddy Combs became a fixture on red carpets and in pop culture. Now, the self-proclaimed bad boy for life is facing the chance of life in prison as he goes on trial in New York on charges of sex trafficking, racketeering conspiracy, and interstate transportation for prostitution.
Probably one of the most famous people in the world. How does that inform his trial?
If you have been anywhere but under a rock in the last 2 to 3 decades or so, you either know his work directly or indirectly. And a lot of people have a difficulty of separating art from the person. And so will there be, to some degree, a connection of that for people that will be hard to separate? Absolutely.
Combs has pleaded not guilty.
He's going to fight this with all of his energy and all of his might.
Federal authorities began investigating Combs after his ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, brought a civil lawsuit against him. Combs settled one day after the lawsuit was filed with no admission of guilt. Ventura claimed in the lawsuit that Combs physically, sexually, and emotionally abused her during their on- and off relationship. Ventura is expected to be a key witness for the prosecution.
Is Cassie Ventura the star witness?
Yeah, absolutely. And the reason why I say that is you take Cassie Ventura's civil lawsuit, you take this federal indictment, and you see so much overlap between the two of them. I think it's Cassie.
The trial will also include testimony from 3 other alleged victims who have not been identified. 2 of those victims will be allowed to keep their identities concealed during trial. Combs is accused of abusing, threatening, and coercing the victims to participate in elaborate, drug-fueled orgies with male prostitutes that he called freak-offs.
He used the embarrassing and sensitive recordings he made of the freak-offs as collateral against the victims.
From what we know, the defense strategy is Sean Combs was a swinger, and bringing a third party or a fourth party or extra people into the bedroom in a consensual relationship is no crime.
Yeah, and I think that's the move. When you separate white parties from freak-offs, when you separate criminality from consensual sex that might not be as mainstream as especially the SDNY is, you take Sean Combs, he is in no way, shape, or form the average person in anything. And so why should the act that so many people do between consenting adults be as average or normal for him?
So then is the prosecution's job as simple as, seriously?
I mean, seriously, and listen to them. They didn't sign up for this. Who would sign up for this? Look at the evidence, look at the statements, look at the pictures if they have them. Look at the text messages in close in time about them describing these events.
Federal officers say they found what they believe is evidence of the so-called freak-offs when they raided 2 of Combs' homes last year, including drugs and more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant. Authorities say they also found firearms with defaced serial numbers.
There were these raids of his homes in Miami and in Los Angeles. There were guns drawn. Does any of that matter at trial? Or is just the result of all that, the evidence that was collected, what matters?
When you tell, I think, the average person or juror that DHS or law enforcement showed up to Diddy's home with like Kevlar and body armor, I think the average person thinks, well, that's a really bad person. And so whether people want to admit it or not, they're going to infer criminality just based on how law enforcement operated in that. But the tangible should be, to your point, what was recovered.
The defense has tried to keep some of the evidence out, including this surveillance video first obtained by CNN that shows Combs kicking and dragging Ventura in a Los Angeles hotel. Combs' attorneys argued the video had been manipulated, a claim CNN denied. They've also described the video as depicting the end of an otherwise loving relationship.
Is there any way to look at what's on the video and see it the way the defense does, that this is the unfortunate end of a loving relationship?
Yes, but it's going to take some tightrope walking, threading the needle. There's an argument that he is guilty of something, but not guilty of what he's accused of.
The judge decided the video can be used. When he's not in court, Combs is incarcerated at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, a far cry from the lavish waterfront mansions Combs once called home.
Sean Combs was denied bail because prosecutors said he intimidated witnesses. Several judges agreed that part of his MO, as prosecutors laid it out, was to intimidate the people into silence. Is that why he's incarcerated?
He's in MDC. He allegedly got a cell phone at some point in time. He was using another inmate's, let's call it for lack of a better term, like a serial number, where you can dial in and use their number so you can't detect whether or not Sean Combs is using that phone or someone else. And it was that he had almost a campaign where he was trying to influence individuals. And I think all of that, the government said, he can't even follow the rules when he's incarcerated. What rules can we create that when he is out on some amount of bond or bail, that he'll follow those rules?
The jury is expected to be finalized Monday, with the lawyers closing in on 12 jurors and 6 alternates who will ultimately decide if the mogul who launched major music careers, a fashion brand, and liquor labels will face the possibility of a life behind bars.
Damn, Diddy. Got you out here looking crazy. They got you out here looking crazy, bro. But yeah, hey. Money talk bullshit, Walt Diddy. Hey, let that money speak for you. That money, let that moolah, that munyan, that cheese, that dinero, let that get you out. Shit that I was just playing. It's you know what I'm saying. They don't want you to hit the streets. They don't want you to hit the streets. They don't want you diddy bopping out here no more. But we'll see though. Most definitely tap in. This is the channel when you want to tune in for all Diddy's news, all the content. Most definitely we'll be dropping that for sure. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment to my YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that Cash App, $sign all caps SRED for a day. Make sure you donate. Make sure you go to my second YouTube channel, S.L.R Sports News TV. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment over there. The War in Hip Hop, Diddy on trial. Will Diddy be doing the Diddy Bop? Will he beat the case? I'm on it. We own it. We most definitely, any breaking news, anything drops, we gonna break it live on S.L.R Media TV. Like, subscribe, share, comment to my YouTube channel. You know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. Subscribe. I'm out.